Buddy, we are going to draw 3D shapes today. On my paper, I have four 3D forms: a pyramid, a cube, a rectangular prism, and a cylinder. Are you ready to get started? You need a paper and something to write with, or actually draw with, and then things to color with later on. So I'm using a Sharpie because you guys can see that better, but you might want to start in pencil. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down the middle, and then sometimes artists have to turn their paper to get a better angle. Okay, so now I can hold my paper like this, or I could hold it like this. Either way is fine. So I'm going to start, it doesn't matter which box I start in. I'm going to start here. I'm going to draw my pyramid first. So we're going to start with just a simple triangle because a pyramid is a 3D triangle. Drawing a dot, drawing a diagonal line, turning my paper just a little bit more, and I'm drawing another diagonal line. I'm going to connect them with a horizontal line. Now, from there, I'm going to draw a diagonal line, but not go all the way down. I'm going to stop a little bit before I get to that end. And then I'm going to draw a diagonal line across. That is what makes your form look 3D. I'm going to move on to my next box. Now, if I'm moving a little bit fast, that's because I've had a lot of practice. So if you need to, please pause your video. I'm going to move on to this box now, and I'm going to start with a square because a square or a cube is a 3D square. So I have a horizontal line, then a little bit lower, I'm going to put another horizontal line the same length. So I'm drawing a square, so I'm going to turn my paper, going to connect them with a vertical line and another vertical line. So now I have my square. To make my square 3D, I have to draw a horizontal line going across off to the side a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do is diagonal line, diagonal line. Now I'm going to draw a line coming from the back, just like the pyramid, not going all the way down, and then another diagonal line. So there is my cube. Now I'm going to go to the bottom of the paper to make my rectangular prism. And you guessed it, we're going to start with a rectangle. So two horizontal lines, then I'm going to connect them with two vertical lines to make my rectangle. Now what makes a rectangle a rectangle? Two lines go in pairs. So these two lines are the same size, and these two lines are the same size, or roughly about the same size. Now I'm going to draw that same line in the back, off to the side a little bit. Then I'm going to connect it with a diagonal and a diagonal. This shape on the top, you ready for a cool word, is called a parallelogram. Now I'm going to go down with a vertical line, and I'm going to connect it with a diagonal. There's my rectangular prism. Now for our last one. I think the cylinder is one of the coolest 3D shapes. So we're going to start with a dot and a dot. Now we're going to connect them and we're going to make an oval. So we have two curved lines now. Now I'm going to draw two straight lines, same length, coming down off those dots. Now to make this cylinder look really real, this line at the bottom, we are going to slightly curve it to match the top. There is our cylinder. Now to make all of these forms look like they're sitting on something, I'm going to draw a table line. Now I'm going to do them on the top. Sorry, you might cover it for a minute. It's okay if they're a little shaky. Okay, so now you can color them however you'd like. If you would like to make these shapes into something, like maybe you make this into a can of soup, maybe I'm just thinking foods and maybe some butter. Maybe this is an actual pyramid in the desert. Maybe this one is Jack in the Box. Okay, so you could do something like that, or you could just copy Miss Takis and color them in, but you don't have to color them in the same colors as me. Okay, make sure that you post a picture on Google Classroom when you're finished. I hope you had fun.